Ladies and gentlemen, I have to get down to brass tacks with you today. I watched SmackDown live July 16th, 2019. You know, I started this podcast for a couple reasons. I started it, number one, because I'm a huge wrestling fan. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge wrestling fan. Been a fan pretty much majority of my life. I mean, my earliest memories, as a kid are watching wrestling with my dad. Now, I started this podcast, though, because the product of WWE, professional wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it, for many years now has been dwindling downhill at a rate that I've watched it right before my very eyes. Now, everyone, no matter what sport it is, or music and things of that nature, if you ask a guy that was around in the 70s and he was in his prime in the 70s, he's going to tell you the greatest basketball player was Julius Erving or someone like that, In the 80s and 90s, we had Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. People are going to pick the greatest eras and the greatest times, the greatest athletes, the greatest musicians. They tend to pick people that were the greatest at the time that they were young and vibrant and youthful. For me, that time would have been the Attitude Era. But I have a knowledge of this product from way before. I mean, from the very beginning. Like the very first match that like I said, I remember caring about was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. WrestleMania 3. I was 6, 7 years old at the time. But I've seen the product start to decline, and the reason I wanted to make the podcast is I was just fed up, and I felt like I had to do something. I had to maybe, if it was just my way of making it more entertaining to me, or I felt that something had to be said. And there's very few people I know that have followed the product as much as I have, and can give you an honest opinion and can do what I do. Now, so with that being said, I do watch other content creators. I watch other YouTubers. I listen to other podcasts. And all these people talk about wrestling. Wrestling podcasts is a dime a dozen right now. Everybody has one. Okay? So there's nothing to make me stand out in the crowd among anybody else other than the fact that I feel as if I'm going to give you my honest, truthful opinion about things. So far, in the past few weeks that I've been doing this, I've not really been praising the product very much at all. As a matter of fact, 99.9% of the things I say or, podcasts or episodes have more of a negative aspect to them, especially when it comes to the WWE. And I've noticed through watching these different podcasts and these content creators, I've noticed a trend in the community as of late. Whereas at one time you had a few people that were negative. And what I mean by that is that they pretty much are like me and was seeing the things that I saw and was calling the WWE out on their bullshit. Then you have other content creators that no matter what, they were always positive, trying to look onto the bright side of things, trying to see the good in everything. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. I could easily be that guy as well. I could easily go through and pick out all the good points and just give you the good things about Raw and SmackDown. Basically, the whole WWE product. I could be that way. But I feel as if you're going to listen to this, it's not as much about the review of the show that you're listening to, as much as it's me telling you or explaining my views on how, why, and what could be done to make it better, or how and why we or I, as a community and stuff like that, why I appreciate what they're doing and why I think it's good. Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse for 2 months has been the best thing on Raw and SmackDown. Of course, it's not technically on SmackDown, I guess. And I've said that. And I also said I don't know how this is going to, transition from the Firefly Funhouse segments to when is Bray going to get in the ring? When are we going to see that, and how are they going to bring him out? But see, there was questions there. It was compelling. I wanted to see what they were going to do. All right? What they did last Monday night in introducing Bray Wyatt finally in the ring, we get to see him live and in person. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. Not only was it one of the best segments, I've seen in a long time on Raw, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it is probably the most excited that I have been about something in the WWE since the Attitude Era, Monday Night Wars era. And that's a big thing. That's a big statement. We're talking almost 20 years, over 20 years here. Okay? This is something that made me want to see what was going on, made me want to see what was happening. But this is the only thing that they've had for months, almost, I hate to say it, for years. So I come out here on the podcast every episode, and I tell you what I feel to be the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I give you my opinion on the product, where it sits, and how they should address certain things. And when it's good, like the Bray Wyatt stuff, I am over the moon with what they've done with that. That is the greatest thing right now in pro wrestling, is what Bray Wyatt's doing. Okay? I'm over the moon with that. They hit a home run, a grand slam with that. Granted, there's still a lot of questions to be answered, but it's good, and I'll tell you it's good. We had a fatal four-way women's match on Monday Night Raw that lasted almost 25 minutes, I believe. And at the end, the confrontation between Natty and Becky Lynch, I'm invested in that. I care about that angle. The match was a little long. Here's the thing. If it was 25 minutes of good quality workers in the ring, all four of them, it would have been an excellent situation. But because of the people you have in the ring, it kind of got long and it drawn out. But it was still, like I said, a big match feel. And the women in that match did what they are supposed to do. They told a story. Because at the end of that match, I felt like Natalie overcame all odds. She's getting something she deserves, and she had to overcome Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross and two other opponents. And it was a hard-fought battle. That was good. A lot of the other stuff was just not that good. And I can go over each and every angle and tell you why exactly it's not good. But if you want to do that, go to the Monday Night Raw review and find that out. In a roundabout way, what I'm saying is when I come out here, I started this podcast, and I've been mostly negative on the product, the WWE product. So I've had people ask me, Big Dave, is that your shtick? Is that your gimmick with this? Is this what this podcast is? Is you basically just come on here and talk shit about Vince McMahon and his product? No. That's not my shtick. That's not a gimmick. That's not something I'm trying to do to get people to listen. To be honest with you, it's probably the exact opposite way to get people to listen. If I was one of these content creators that was happy-go-lucky and told you everything's all good and we're going to see change next week, because even though Eric Bischoff wasn't even at the SmackDown arena, even though Paul Heyman really isn't taking over, it's coming next summer. It's coming SummerSlam. And then after SummerSlam, it'll be the Royal Rumble and then Royal WrestleMania. Okay? I could be that guy. But my gimmick is not, I don't have a gimmick. I'm not here to try and downplay everything that they do. Believe it or not, I want the product to be good. I want it to be great. Because everyone that knows me knows I'm a wrestling fan. It's like this. I DJ at a strip club, okay? When my buddies and my friends, and they call me, or they text me and say, hey, are you working? We want to come out there tonight. Sure, I want you to come. I don't want to be embarrassed if you come to the club that I work at and it's dirty and nasty and you have nasty looking girls and ugly women. That's embarrassing to me. So I don't want my job that you come to be an embarrassment. I want to be proud to invite you to come see where I work and see what I do. Okay? It's the same thing with the WWE. Everyone knows I'm a big fan. If I'm to come to your house and you're a casual fan or not even a fan at all, and I say, hey, it's Tuesday night. You want to watch SmackDown? Hey, it's Monday night. Let's watch Raw. Even if they agree to it, it's going to be, Big Dave, you and your wrestling, you want to watch that stuff. You know, it's not as good as it used to be. And I can't defend it. I can't say, well, it's getting better. I can't. I want to be able to say, oh, well, evidently you haven't watched it lately because it's really good now. It's back. It's good again. Do you understand what I'm saying to you now? This isn't me saying I just want to have a podcast where I shit on Vince McMahon's creation. This is a wrestling podcast, period. It's not just about the WWE. Number one. Number two, I do not want the product to be bad. I'm telling you the things that I think and I see because I've watched the product for so long that I can see through the bullshit and I foreshadow what they're doing. I'm trying to give people an insight to what I know, even though I claim and will stand here right now and tell you I really don't know shit, just like nobody else does. But if you're going to get an educated guess on it, you need to come to somebody like me. You could go to the big guys, you could go to the Dave Meltzers, and you could go to the Fightfuls, you can go to all these big, content creators, these big scoop writers. I'm not a scoop guy. I'm not here giving you, my contacts told me this, or my sources told me this. I'm not that guy. I'm just the guy that's going to tell you what I see in the ring, what I see them doing, and how I feel as if they can do things better. And like I said, if it's good, I'll tell you it's great. But I do not have a gimmick with this podcast. And you know why? Because this is my shit, motherfucker. I can do what I want. I don't have anybody holding me back. I don't have anybody writing scripts telling me what I can and can't say. This channel is for a mature audience with explicit lyrics. If I want to say fuck, I can. If I want to come out and say Vince McMahon has lost touch with his product, I can. If I also want to say maybe Vince is such a genius that he's pulled the wool over our eyes that's so well that we don't even understand how great of and how wonderfully he's tricking us into his product being good and we just can't see it. I can say that. With all that being said, I've seen people shit on tonight's SmackDown. I see people saying that it was not a good show, it's the same old shit. I'm assuming that all the people that shat on SmackDown Tuesday night are the same morons that believe Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are pulling the strings in real life. In real life. Okay? I've heard allegations that Eric Bischoff wasn't even there Tuesday. Wasn't even there. I don't know if it's true. It's what I heard. Regardless, guys, I come to you today humbly proclaiming I did not hate SmackDown this Tuesday. I actually enjoyed SmackDown tonight. Now, are there things in there that make no sense and I wish they had not done? Yes. They had too many matches that were quick little matches. But we didn't have any 2 out of 3 falls matches. So I'm going to go ahead and get into SmackDown. But I want you to know, guys, this was not the worst SmackDown I've seen. Not the best, but I actually give this SmackDown a thumbs up. And I'm going to tell you why after this advertisement from Anchor. But first, guys, once again, thank you so much for your support. Please follow me on all my social media. You can go to DVL Music on Instagram. Also, follow me on, let's see, we got Instagram, Twitter. You can go to Vaughn Lindsay on Twitter. Follow me there. We also have the Big Dave Club on Instagram and Facebook. You can go there. Guys, if you want to go to the Anchor app and help me out so I can reach more people with the truth, please, you can be a part of you can be an all-star premier member of the Big Dave Club for just $1 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, that's $1 a month. If you can give me that, that helps me out so I can get things to make this a bigger thing, make it a bigger show. I've said before, now I'm having to buy things to help build this. So I have monthly bills and things associated with this podcast. It's just a hobby for me, so I don't care. Maybe that's what I'll spend my money on it as an old man instead of boats and shit like that. But if you can go to the Anchor app and support this podcast, you have a choice of 99 cents a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, $1 a month, guys, and we can get this shit running better. That is how you're going to support me the most, guys. Anybody can afford $1 a month. Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this advertisement from the Anchor app with Big Dave's wrestling review of SmackDown Live, July 16th, 2019.